Aloha, and good afternoon, everyone. And today is September 2nd. Uh, Two hurricanes were coming close to the Hawaii Island, and one hurricane was gone, and now another hurricane is coming close. But it seems that if two hurricanes are happening, then one hurricane goes to left and one hurricane goes to the right. So this is called Fujiwara effect. Uh, you know, so the next hurricane, two hurricanes coming by, and went to left, which went to the south, and one goes to the right, which is going to the north. So I hope it doesn't bring disaster to the island. I hope anyway. I often hear during the past week, I often hear the word idiom that prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And I don't know, I'm not sure it came from Bible or not, originally which idiom came from. Uh, but I thought prepare for the worst and hope for the best really uh, represent our Buddhist teaching. So prepare for the worst is just like this is the understanding or realization that life is suffering. So life is suffering. This is very natural thing. That is sounds like more prepare for the worst. And if we can truly realize that life is suffering, then whatever good luck, good thing happen, we can have very happy. We can be very happy. But if we think we have a high expectation, high good standard, then whatever bad thing happens, that we are very depressing, and we think we have to suffer more than ever. But if we think low expectation, the worst, life is worse, life is suffering, then anything blessing happens, then we feel happy. So this is the good way how to deal the life. And by realizing, by preparing for the worst, we can accept good blessing in better way. And another phrase that hope for the best is like hope for the good land. After this world of suffering, after this world of suffering, then blessed land is waiting for us. So blessing is waiting for us after this life. So this is exactly our teaching. After this world of suffering, the Jodo, the pure land, the good land, the blessed land, ultimate bliss is waiting for us. That is hope for the best. So by coming, you know, I often heard the idiom that prepare for the worst and hope for the best from the news of hurricanes. And I thought, oh, this is talking about the balance, the good balance. And this balance is exactly represent our Jodo Buddhism. And Jodo Buddhism, so hope for the best, hope for the Jodo, aspire for the Jodo is all we share Jodo Buddhism. So anyway, today I start, the teaching of Honen Shonin called Gohobo again this year. Last year I did, but 1 year have passed. And as compared to 1 year, surely I gained something, experiences, new idea, And maybe sometimes I forget, I'm more more forgetful. But the same teaching I did, however, because of the experience, because of the change, I can explain the same teaching in differently. So I feel this is meaningful to do the same teaching again and again because of that change happening in every moment for all of us. So today I introduce the number one teaching, that is an extraordinary encounter. Extraordinary encounter. So let me tell you the conclusion. This is talking about exactly, not exactly, but it's very similar to the idiom that prepare for the worst and hope for the best. So this is, this chapter, Foundation teaching, is talking about balance. How we can see this life, this world in better way. How we can see this life, reality, better. How we can understand the world of suffering good. How we can turn the energy of minus into plus, positive. So let me read first. I, Honen, have long wondered about the delusive triple realms of transmigration of birth and death. In which realm was I preventing myself from encounter with the emergence of Buddha Shakyamuni? In which of the four modes of the birth realms of transmigration was I, preventing me from listening to the teaching of Buddha Shakyamuni? I was not present when Buddha Shakyamuni preached the Flower Garland Sutra, not present at the assembly where he delivered his discourse on the Wisdom Sutra, not present to hear his sermon at Vulture Peak, and I was not at the Crane Forest on the occasion of his entrance into Nibbana. Could I have been one of the 300 million people in Sarabasti, unaware even of the name of Buddha Shakyamuni? Could I have been at the bottom of one of the 8 scorching hells? I am overcome with a regret. This is indeed grievous. Now, then, I have transmigrated for innumerable kalpas, have received life in the realm of a human being, a state extremely difficult to realize, and have finally encountered the precious teaching of Buddha Shakyamuni. It is lamentable that I was not given the opportunity to meet Buddha Shakyamuni during his lifetime. However, I am profoundly grateful to have been born in a world in which his teaching proliferate. It is as if the turtle without sight that comes up to the surface of the water locates a hole in a piece of driftwood afloat on the ocean blue. The spread of Buddhism in Japan began with the introduction of Buddhism on the first day of the 10th month in the winter of the 13th year of the monkey and water. That is AD 552. During the reign of Emperor Kinmei. Prior to this date, neither the teaching of Buddha Shakyamuni existed in Japan, nor the way to enlightenment preached. By whatever residual causes, by whatever virtuous karma we have accumulated in a previous existence, we have been born in a world where the teaching of Buddha Shakyamuni have spread. And we are able to hear of the way to emancipation from the delusive realms of transmigration. We have now had the good fortune of experiencing the precious encounter with the teaching of Buddha Shakyamuni. To continue life without embracing his teaching would be lamentable indeed. So, first, this is talking about how lucky we are, how lucky, how fortunate Honen Shonin was to have met the teaching of Shakyamuni. So this is almost very impossible. Uh, for us to be born as a human is very difficult. Then after that, to meet Buddhism is also very difficult. So this, is a meta. There is a metaphor that how difficult that we can meet the teaching of Buddhism is we call the blind turtle. So suppose there is a huge ocean and there is a blind turtle, and this turtle, blind turtle, has a long life, and once in 100 years, it come up to the surface. So the blind turtle usually live in the bottom of the ocean. However, it comes up once in 100 years. Then suppose there is a wood drifted, and this wood has a very tiny hole, and the hole, the size of hole is just exactly same as the turtle head. And Buddha asked, his disciples, okay, listen, do you think it's possible this blind turtle come up to the ocean to come exactly enter the hole of the drifted wood? And disciples answered, Buddha, Master, it cannot happen. It cannot happen. It's impossible. There is a very rare opportunity that the size of the wood drifted. And this is a very huge ocean, incredibly huge ocean. And blind turtle could come up to anywhere. But it's impossible for the blind turtle to get the drifted wood. So the disciples reply to the master. And Buddha says that to be born as a human is actually much more difficult. So I feel this is very true. We have a long history of the planet Earth, and we have a long history of the universe. And the possibility that we had the life form was really impossible. Impossible. But it happened, and we had life. How grateful that we are now living here. The miracle, the series of miracles happened again and again. And then we are living. And then, if we are lucky, we meet the teaching of Buddhism. So this is really grateful that Honen Shonin imply in this teaching. And anyway, Honen Shonin categorize. For Honen Shonin, what is the best time to be born into the this world? And Honen Shonin, because he admired Shakyamuni Buddha. Everybody, we all admire Shakyamuni Buddha, respect and love Shakyamuni Buddha. But especially Honen Shonin, admired Buddha very much. And the best time to be born in the world is that at the time of Shakyamuni Buddha was living. So for Honen Shonin, the Shakyamuni Buddha time was the best time. And he wished if he could live during the Shakyamuni Buddha time. And he wished whenever he taught, the Buddha taught the teaching. And he wished one of them, the listener, he want to be listeners of Shakyamuni Buddha. But I was born in the different time, and I couldn't, achieve my dream. That is Honen Shonin's regret. And however, Honen Shonin is very happy, became very happy with the current situation, and he can have how he can have happiness, how he can accept this current situation is, I think, by making comparison, as compared to the worst, So by imagination of the worst situation. So Honen Shonin list up the next. Before Buddhism came into Japan, there is no way to meet Shakyamuni Buddha's teachings, and there is no way to be enlightened. So he compares the time that before Buddhism was introduced to Japan. So the age of no Buddhism. So Honen Shonin divided age 3 times. I mean, in the 3 categories. One, the best time is the age when Shakyamuni Buddha was living. And second is now that Honen Shonin was living. And then he imagined that the age before Buddhism came to Japan, the age before age came to Japan. And Honen Shonin became really grateful. Although if you compare the good thing, you may be disappointed, but if you can compare the worst thing or worst thing, then we can be grateful as compared to the worst. So Honen Shonin compares the age that before Buddhism was introduced to Japan as compared to the age of no Buddhism, as compared to the age that there is no way of enlightenment. Now, at least we have teaching of Buddhism available, prevail in Japan. Although the best condition, the best age is that when Shakyamuni Buddha was living, but as compared to the age of no Buddhism, this is so blessed. So this is exactly the realization, an extraordinary encounter. Now we are very grateful that we can listen, we can have teaching of Buddhism. That is really, really great. So whenever, sometimes while we did it, misfortunes, not good luck, bad luck sometimes very happen. But if that happen, if it really happens, the understanding that we can imagine the worst situation. So as compared to the worst, it's much better. So this is the way to understand the reality in better way. Oh, excuse me. So I'd like to start the service. いしょ。何万だ。あ、すいません。I aspire for my body to be as pure as an incense burner. I aspire for my mind to be like the light of wisdom. With every thought, I burn this incense of discipline and meditation to dedicate myself to the past, present, and future Buddhas of the 10 directions. I wholeheartedly take refuge in the Buddhas who eternally dwell in the lands of the 10 directions. I wholeheartedly take refuge in the Dharma, the teachings which eternally exist in the lands of the 10 directions. I wholeheartedly take refuge in the Sangha, the community which eternally exists in the lands of the 10 directions. reverently call upon Amida Buddha, the world honored one, to enter this sacred place. We reverently call upon Shakyamuni Tathagata, the enlightened one, to enter this sacred place. We reverently call upon the Tathagatas of the 10 directions to enter this sacred place. Ashaku shozo shoaku go kanyu shiton jinchi jushin oishi shosho isai ga konkai sange. The harmful actions I have done in the past are all derived from my inherent greed, anger, and delusion, born of my conduct, words, and thoughts. I now repent them all. Namu Amida Bu, Namu Amida Bu, Namu Amida Bu, Namu Amida. Namu Amida Bu, Namu Amida Bu, Namu Amida Bu, Amida. Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Bu. Mujo Jinji Mimyo Ho Gaku Senman Onan Sogu Gakon Genmon Tokujuji The unsuppressed, profound, and wondrous Dharma, even after 100,000 million eons, is difficult to encounter. We now here receive and uphold it. May we understand the true message of the Tathagata. Page 33, Tambutsuju. Gogen gigi jimbun ogunyo zemyo muyo tosha nichi ga tsuma ni shukonyo ganshitsu onpe yunyakuju mokunyo raiyo genjo zemuri shogaku daiyon goru jippo gaimon shojin sanmai jie idogumuro shushoke ujin dai nenden shobuju ongai gujin jin no gun ongai nemu myoyoku seison yomu nin no shishu jin 도금을려 근거다이지에 진묘고묘 이소신도나이 강가사비주다이쇼가도쇼지미그게 나두세조 이가이닌쇼진요대삼 지혜이정오세등유시강이사이그그 이사나이양계시으브드약센너금 무료다이쇼슈녀고자그요 이사이시
と勝負図にょぐの現象逆意にょご勝負性が有がゲム真実の五名人称演師小国行政小人義事難両が差別国の第一号主義名道上上で動きのない四に無道総合と愛民道達一切実法来新月少女異動が国芸楽安能公部神妙税が新上津願王位力少小欲実法税知恵無語上領子孫地が信用芸領紳士将軍独中が行精進人事
The Buddha's luminous face is majestic, and his sublime powers unsurpassed. To such radiant splendor, nothing compares. The sun, moon, and precious jewel that shine so luminously, all become obscure and dark like black ink. The Tathagata's appearance transcends this world and is beyond compare. Your great voice of perfect enlightenment resounds in the 10 directions. Your conduct, learning, diligence, concentration, wisdom, and majestic virtue are unparalleled. They are extraordinary and wondrous. In profound clarity and virtuous mindfulness on the oceans of teachings of all the Buddhas, you have mastered the depths and exhausted the secrets to the end. Ignorance, greed, and anger, the world-honored one, is forever without. Among humans, you have the valor of a lion. Your sublime virtues are infinite. Your accomplishments are vast, and your wisdom profound and wondrous. Your radiant light, with its majestic quality, shakes the great south and fourth world. I vow to become a Buddha equal to you, sacred Dharma King. Transcending birth and death, I will lead all to emancipation. In generosity, resolve, adherence to precepts and diligence, as well as meditation and wisdom, I shall be supreme. I resolve to become a Buddha to carry out this vow. To all who are afraid and in fear, I will bring them great peace. Even if there are Buddhas, hundreds, thousands, millions, innumerable great sages, as many as the sons of the Ganges, I shall make offerings to them all, to every one of these Buddhas. Nothing will be like my seeking the way, resolute, unfailing. So even if, like the sons of the Ganges, all the Buddha worlds again consist of uncountable infinite lands, my radiant light shall completely illuminate and pervade through all these realms. Thus, my devotional practices and sublime powers will be impossible to measure. May I become a Buddha whose land is mother sublime, is most sublime. May all who are there be wondrous and unique, and may this place of practice be supreme. This land will like the ultimate enlightenment and beyond compare. I will have compassion for all beings and emancipate them all. Those from the sun, from the 10 directions who come to be born in my land, their minds will be joyful and pure. Having reached my land, they will immediately experience happiness and serenity. May the Buddha believe in me and be my true witness. I bow before you to dedicate my strength in achieving this aspiration. The world-honored one of the 10 directions, having unimpeded wisdom, May they forever bestow this honor and know my will to practice. Even if my body must undergo all suffering and pain, I will carry out my practice with diligence and endurance to the end, without regret. 미다 혼생한 오그나 그시오 먼저 산도에고 소그쇼 Amida Buddha's original vows are the essential gate to the ultimate bliss. May this merit be transferred equally to enable us to immediately attain birth in the Pure Land. Namu Ami Namu 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 Namu Amida Butsu Namu Amida Bu. Teachings of Honen. Day 1. An extraordinary encounter. I, Honen, have long wondered about the delusive triple realms of the transmigration of birth and death. In which realm was I preventing myself from encounter with the emergence of Buddha Shakyamuni? In which of the four modes of birth in the delusive realms of transmigration was I, preventing me from listening to the teaching of Buddha Shakyamuni? I was not present when Buddha Shakyamuni preached the Flower Garland Sutra, not present at the assembly where he delivered his discourse on the Wisdom Sutra, not present to hear his sermon at Vulture Peak, and I was not at the Crane Forest on the occasion of his entrance into Nibbana. Could I have been one of the 300 million people in Saravasti, unaware even of the name of Buddha Shakyamuni? Could I have been at the bottom of one of the 8 scorching hells? I'm overcome with a regret. This is indeed grievous. Now then, I have transmigrated for innumerable kalpas. I've received life in the realm of a human being, a state extremely difficult to realize, and have finally encountered the precious teaching of Buddha Shakyamuni. It is lamentable that I was not given the opportunity to meet Buddha Shakyamuni during his lifetime. However, I am profoundly grateful to have been born in a world in which his teaching proliferate. It is as if the turtle without sight that comes up to the surface of the water locates a hole in a piece of driftwood afloat on the ocean blue. The spread of Buddhism in Japan began with the introduction of Buddhism on the first day of the 10th month in the winter of their 13th year of the monkey and water. During the reign of Kinmei Emperor, prior to this date, neither the teachings of Buddha Shakyamuni existed or the way to enlightenment preached. By whatever residual causes, by whatever virtuous karma we have accumulated in the previous existence, born in a world where the teaching of Buddha Shakyamuni have spread. And we are able to hear of the way to emancipation from the delusive realms of transmigration. Now had the good fortune of experiencing the precious encounter with the teaching of Buddha Shakyamuni to continue life without embracing his teaching would be lamentable indeed. I revere the King of the great compassionate vows, Amida Buddha, the dispatcher and founder of the teaching Shakyamuni Buddha, all the Buddhas, as many as the sons of the six directions. Kannon Seishi, all the great bodhisattvas, the world assembly of ultimate bliss, the beings of pure and great ocean, and the three treasures and the great compassion. May the wind and the rain be timely and disasters and calamity not arise. Be bountiful, people safe, and armies and weapons not be used. Let us revere virtue and humility and cultivate respect and humility. Our High Patriarch Komyo, the Great Master Shantao, our Founder Master, Great Master Enko, Tozen, Ejo, Kokaku, Jikyo, Meisho, Wajun Ho Nidaishi, the Second Patriarch, National Teacher, Daishoju, Shoju Kokushi, the Third Patriarch by Recording and Meditation Master, Kishu Ryoju, of transmitting the pure rain, and all the great patriarch by realizing the compassionate blessings. The founding master of our temple, the restorer, and all the priests who have served this temple.
思想部も一切断のつけチェン修上論者特楽苦樹無料猛者陸長小浄土。My prayers to my teachers and ministers, to my father and mother, to all the temple members, donors, and all living beings with whom I have karmic connections. May all those who are living experience joy, prosperity, and longevity without limit. May those who have died escape from suffering and transcend to be born into the pure land. ナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダナムアミダブツナムアミダブ。何なんだ。願にし苦毒平等性一切同仏菩提心往生大国。We aspire for these merits and virtues to be equally bestowed upon all, and may we together develop the aspiration for enlightenment to achieve birth in the pure land of peace and bliss. 10年。ナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブ。何万だ。ありがとうございます。どうもありがとうございます。Thank you very much. Afternoon and have a good night and have a good morning. Thank you very much.